Hello and welcome to my helpline for January 31st. So, if you have any questions, please send me a message on Remind. I'm going to go over some of the geometry homework for this week, starting with a basic proof again, because proofs have not gone anywhere. They are going to be with us for the rest of this year. So, looking at this problem here, the first thing I'm going to do, like always, is draw a picture. I do not know how many times I have to keep saying the same thing over and over, but it helps a lot if you just draw a picture. A, B, C, D. There's a line across here. We have this side and this side are already congruent. From there, I'm always going to just go ahead and draw my two triangles or whatever it's trying to ask me to prove. Triangle ABC. A, B, C. And then draw the other triangle right next to it, A, C, D. And by drawing this, I can clearly see that we already have AC is congruent to AC. I don't have to worry about anything else at the moment other than AC congruent to AC because of the reflexive property. You know, it's the same thing. When you have a line that's exactly 100% identical to itself. Now, I'm going to talk about this one. CA bisects BAD. You can clearly see that it's marking this angle and this angle. So angle BAC is going to be congruent. And if you notice on my other triangles, I went along the red one first, which means I need to go along the red one over here, which is angle DAC are congruent. So I can tell two angles. We have angle BAC and DAC. And that was just the definition of bisect. So if I just type in bisect, boom. Clicked the wrong button. There we go. Hit try, boom. Now, if you recall, we have 5 different ways to prove triangle congruencies. Side, side, side. Side, angle, side. Angle, side, angle. Angle, angle, side. And HL. Looking at this, we have side, angle, side. So now I can say my two triangles are congruent. ABC is congruent to ADC by side, angle, side. And that's it. All done with a proof. It always comes down to drawing your picture and knowing your vocabulary words. So, the next thing I put up for this week's homework is parallel and perpendicular lines. So, a couple things we need to remember for this. 1, parallel, same slope. Perpendicular is the opposite slope. You have to remember that. And then on top of that, it's much easier if you just use the point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1, especially with the way Delta Math treats this. So Delta Math says we have a point 80, and we want parallel to x plus y equals 5. So the first thing I need to do is find that slope, because my equation is just y minus something equals something x minus something. So to find slope, I'm just going to solve for y. Subtract x, y equals negative x plus 5. My slope is the number in front of the x, which is a negative 1. So negative 1. And then I literally can just take my point, plug it in, and I get that. You can simplify this by saying y equals negative 1 parentheses x minus 8. Delta Math will accept that 0, but mathematically speaking, you could just simplify it down to, turn caps lock off, y equals -1 parentheses x minus 8 close parentheses. And there we go. If it was perpendicular, all I would do would be change that -1 to its complete opposite. So you flip the fraction and change its sign. -1 is very interesting along with the regular one because their opposites is just 1. So if you have a different slope though, like 2/3, its opposite in this circumstance with perpendicular lines would be -3/2. All right. So now, transversal problems. Once again, like always, draw a picture. We have 130 degrees here, and we have x. Now, because all these lines are parallel, that means this angle and this angle are the same as this angle and this angle, because those would be either corresponding vertical alternate interior or alternate exterior, which also goes with these. And that only works because they're parallel lines. Now, all the other ones are the same, which means a blue angle and a purple-pink angle will make 180 degrees. So if I just take 180 minus that blue angle of 130, that means they're all going to equal 50 degrees. So I can say x is 50. And there we go. That's another one in the books. Next up, equations this time, using the same concept. Draw my picture. Notice, it does not take me that long to draw the pictures. X minus 17 and 5x minus 1. So if we use our blue and pink, we know that one's a blue angle, one's a pink angle. Therefore, if you put the two angles together by addition, it will equal 180 degrees. This is just house method. Draw a line. X plus 5x is 6x. Negative 17 minus 1 is negative 18. Equals 180. Draw a house. Add 180. Add 18. 6x equals 198. And finally divide by 6. So I do not know 198 divided by 6, so I'm just going to go 198, long division, 6. 6 goes into 19 3 times. So another 18, so 33. X is going to be 33. And there we go. All right. Oopsie. And finally, the last problem that I'm going to do. If you have any questions, please send me a message. If I don't have any questions, then I'm just going to end it like this today. What is the measure of an 18agon? And they want a single angle. So single angle. So for this, we need to memorize that formula. 180 times n minus 2. Where n is the number of sides. And then you want to divide by the number of sides as well. So if I plug in 18, I have 180 times 18 minus 2 over 18. If I keep working that out, I get 180 parentheses 16 divided by 18. Multiplication comes next. I'm going to open up a calculator because I don't want to do that one in my head. 180 times 16 is 2,880 over 18. And then finally divide by 18 and I get 160. That means each angle measure is going to be 160 degrees. And there we go. And the computer, since it's a computer, can draw the picture of a 18-sided shape. That is something I would definitely not recommend. So, that is everything that's on Delta Math for this week for geometry. I'm going to leave my iPad open for about 10 minutes. So at 7:20, I will get off. But if you have any questions, send them to me on Remind. If not, I'm going to get off at 7:20. All right, I just got a message. So it's asking about a exponential function. So we learned in class the other day, exponential functions, f of x equals a times b to the x power. In this case, the starting amount is going to be 630 grams. So f of x equals 630 grams times b. This is a decay of 18.8%. So we take our starting percent, which everything is always out of 100, minus 18.8%. And like I said before, this is a lot of calculator stuff, so I'm just going to use calculators. 100 minus 18.8, and I get 81.2%. If I turn that to a decimal, that's 0.812 to the x power. Now, it's every minute, so it's asking how much is left after 7 minutes. So that means all we're going to do is wherever there was an x, we're going to put the number 7. So 7 and 7. Order of operations says do your exponents first. So I'm going to type into my calculator 0.812. And then I'm going to click on the little caret button, or on my Windows computer, it says x to the y power, x to the y, 7. And I'm going to get a really, really long decimal. I'm just going to leave that decimal in the calculator and then multiply by 630. And I'm going to get 146.6333, so forth. And it says round to the nearest tenth. So tenth means this column. I look at this 3, cross everything else out. Well, 3 stays the same, so I just cross it out, and there's my answer. 146.6 grams. So I hope that helps you with the rounding. If you have any other questions, please feel free to send me a message, because I'll be here for a little bit longer. Yep, we need to round to the nearest tenth. And if you look at the question, at the very end, it says the nearest tenth of a gram. All right, so that's where I'm going to be ending the stream for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me on a reminder. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. Other than that, have a good day.